This computer. Recording in progress. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a video. If if you have any problems with the video sound or the video picture, let me know. If it just goes as it should, that should work. Okay, here we go. Okay, where is this light show? Where in St. Louis? There's a no there. The answer is
Oh yeah, Union
Union
Station.
Station. Yes, in the main hall there, every hour on the hour, and
Ah,
they have different shows for each hour. Right. Okay. So train stations in the St. Louis area. I'm Doug Schneider. One section will be train stations you can visit. We'll have trains you can ride, trains you can watch, and demolish train stations. Yay. Okay, let's go and visit some train stations. We're going to go up north. O'Fallon, Missouri was named after John O'Fallon, who was president of a what?
Railroad?
Railroad. That's right.
ah,
You figured out that. Yes. And here's their currency, the North Missouri Railroad.
Wow.
Okay. And this is their depot, the Krekel Depot. It's in O'Fallon.
oh wow.
And this is a picture of Nicholas, who founded O'Fallon. And that depot is now the Parks and Recreation building for um, the city of O'Fallon. And here we are in St. Charles, since we're north. And what bike trail goes by the St. Charles train station? It's a trail that goes
The
a
Katy
long
Trail.
way. The Katy Trail. There we go. Yes, it goes right by here. And what does Katy stand for?
Oh,
How?
I, I've seen that
Crackles
in
open?
what is it?
Okay, we're mumbling. Missouri, Kansas, Texas
Oh,
Railroad.
Ah,
Hmm. Yes. Uh, Looks like they missed the Missouri part. The KA for Kansas, the T for Texas, and who knows where the Y came from.
yeah.
Just all right. And here's the station in St. Charles in Frontier
huh.
Park. Yes, looking at the nice little flower things hanging there.
That's
Okay.
pretty.
Now, this is United Railways of St. Louis. This is their depot. It's in St. Charles.
Oh,
And United Railways sounds very much like a railroad, but it wasn't a railroad. It was well, here we go. It's currently the bail bonding. It was a trolley line. That was a
Huh.
trolley
oh,
line that you just saw still standing here. Now, what is pictured on the Ferguson, Missouri city seal? Come on, what are we talking
I've
about?
never seen it.
nearby.
What are we talking about today?
I'm gonna guess there's trains
Those
on it.
really.
How about a train station?
Oh,
Uh,
It's a train station. For the Ferguson train station is on their city seal, community of choice city seal. And here is the
ah,
station with a train going by. The station goes back to 1875. Again, these are stations you can visit or at least look at, maybe not get into. Uh, but you used to be able to get into it. I'm not so sure about today, and get some frozen custard that's no longer operational. So here is what it looked like. They had the frozen custard set up in the ticket booth in the
oh,
Ferguson station, right? And then here it says they're the businesses for sale. It doesn't give you the price, but no more frozen custard. Now here is the park next to Ferguson Station. What is the name of this park? Use your eyes. Think
Great Northern Park.
Caboose Park.
Caboose.
Caboose Park is right
Oh,
next to the Ferguson train station. And as you can see, you can get into the cabooses there. You can walk through them. Okay. Now we're in Florissant. We're going to 1879. And you can see up here the narrow gauge railroad. And again, is it a railroad or was it a trolley line? It's kind of a little we'll go with railroad, but it was narrow. It's a narrow railroad. Here we go. 1878. That building still stands. It's a city. It's a county landmark, St. Louis County landmark. And there's the train station, sign of Florissant, and an old semaphore thing up there. Now, in train history, that narrow gauge line made history. It made history. Here we have the train, here we have the station. And that train, which actually you can see just looks like a trolley, had a post office on it. And what it would do is it would sort the mail on its way to Florissant, saving time. Yes. And this was the first onboard post office in the United States. It's made history. And then narrow gauge inspired a brewing company. It's called Narrow Gauge Brewing Company. And they just won an award, a silver award in the national beer competition. And they started off in the basement of a restaurant, and then they're now in their own brick and mortar place. All right, so now we are going to head west. And the question is, what's the first Amtrak station going west from St. Louis? The answer right there is Kirkwood.
Yeah.
All right, but we want the second Amtrak station going west. And that would be Washington. Washington. And here is their train station, a lovely brick building. Here it is, a view down the hill, 1923. And you can, in the background, see the Missouri River. You look at the chimney there, see the Missouri River. But that's not the first station in Washington. They built one in 1865, and it still stands. It still stands, and it's actually it doesn't. It was the oldest one was destroyed by General Sterling Price, who was a Confederate raider, not only Confederate raider, an ex-governor of Missouri, who led a raid into Washington. He also led a raid into Pacific, Missouri, and they burned down in 1864, they burned down the first depot. So this one, 1865, is Washington's second depot, and it's in use. It's in use. Commercial offices.
Yeah.
Now, here we have Marthasville, and people decided that Marthasville Depot needed to be snazzy, and they spent some time fixing it up. So there's the before photos you see in this slide, and here is the after photos for Marthasville. So you can see that as you bicycle by on the Katy Trail. Yes. And here's somebody who's on the bicycle, and he is just taking a little rest there at the train station. Okay. We're now looking at this magnificent train station.
Beautiful.
It's in St. Albans, and it is serving now various things you can see on the sign. The sign says it's the train station, and it serves as the post office for St. Albans. So you definitely can get inside it. It probably won't look like it did years ago, but you can say you've been in St. Albans train station. Let's go close to St. Albans, Labadee. Well, here you can see the doors open. You can get into this train station, and you see a lot of stuff around. A lot of stuff.
Labadee. Okay.
Yeah.
Art and antiques. Art and antiques. Yes, yes. So there's just a lot of stuff going on there. And here is somebody who will greet you if you decide to go inside and check out all the stuff you could buy. Now, here's your Greek mythology question.
Centaur.
I'll give you
Centaur.
4 choices. What do you call a half man, half horse? Centaur, nymph, satyr, or Pegasus? The answer is
Centaur.
we hear centaur, and the answer is yes, a centaur. So, what train station are we going to look at next?
Centaur.
The Centaur train station.
Oh, really? There is one?
There is one, and it's still there. It's still there. But you got to find Centaur, Missouri first, because most people don't know where it is. Well, let's do this. It's west of Chesterfield,
Mhm.
and it's north of Wildwood. So it's up there above Babbler State
Never
Park.
heard of it.
So here it is, and this is their old general store.
Yeah.
Their old
Wow.
general store. That's in perfect condition. Perfect
That's
condition.
gorgeous.
And there you see to
Covered
the
bridge.
left in the backyard, that's the train station.
Oh, wow.
That's the train station. And here's the whole layout. And they proudly announce, proudly note that they are Missouri Pacific lines. And what I like on the general store is the old Bell Telephone logo thing right there. Public
Oh,
telephone.
yeah.
You probably remember those.
Yeah.
The phone sign on the old general store.
Yep.
So there's a view of the Centaur station, 1887. 1887. And one thing you'll notice is that it is fairly far from the railroad track. And that is one reason why it may have survived as a train station, because you'll see one train station that has been demolished because nowadays it's considered too close to the train tracks. But this one is a nice distance, and if people were waiting for a train, they wouldn't be waiting a couple of feet away from the tracks, so they'd be waiting at a nice, comfortable distance. What can be next? What is the first Amtrak station going west from St. Louis?
No, Webster
Well,
Road.
You all saw the answer. I had the answer.
I thought it was Kirkwood.
Kirkwood.
Kirkwood. Yay. Okay. Kirkwood was named after James Kirkwood, who worked for
A railroad.
yes,
A railroad.
yes, you guys are getting this. You guys are getting this here. Yeah. And he worked for the Missouri Pacific lines. Okay. So James Kirkwood worked for a railroad. And here's the Kirkwood station. And it lit up in its
Nicely lit up.
glory.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Look, that looks very nice. At the moment,
Right now.
at that moment, that station is being renovated right now.
Yep.
And they're working on the freight depot. I think they just finished the roof, or they're working on the roof right now. But it's a busy station. It's the third busiest in the state. It's from 1893, and it's owned by the city of Kirkwood. It's not a railroad property, it's a city property. And to make money, you can rent it out and you can hold a party there. And lots of people do that. So just think up what you'd like to have, what event you'd like to have in a train station. And the train station is primarily staffed with volunteers, which means you don't buy your ticket from a station person. You buy your ticket from a machine. And here is a nice photo. I liked it because it had a steam train in it. And here's
My
when the
grandson knows
train
all
stopped to celebrate the Stanley Cup. There, go
All
Wolves.
right.
There
Oh,
we
he
go.
knows.
There we
Oh,
go. Yeah, yeah. Now we're still in Kirkwood. We're in the historic district, and we're going to we're going to go to this place here, the Merrimack Highland Station from 1891. I'm going to go back to this this city's emblem of Kirkwood.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks like that is this railroad station. The next slide. Can't tell you for
Yeah, it
sure,
does.
but it's now. This is 1891. Here are people, guys wearing their top hats, waiting for the train, and it is now a residence. It's
Oh,
now a
really?
residence. That is pretty nice.
it's
Pretty
really
nice.
great,
So
isn't it?
you can look at it, but you can't go in it unless somebody happens to be mowing their lawn and decides to be nice to you.
My friend lived right up
Okay,
here.
Ooh.
we'll go to Barrett Station. This is 1891, and that station is at the Museum of Transportation. So it's one of the buildings. It's kind of in the back, behind where a lot of trains are lined up, so you may not really see it. But it does have a train station at the museum, and there it is in the background, but behind things. But what you may notice at the Museum of Transportation is a train tunnel from 1853.
Cool.
This makes it the first train tunnel west of the Mississippi. And that's all part of the Museum of Transportation.
I've been
And
to the Museum of
if,
Transportation, but I don't remember seeing that.
Me too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have to look around for it.
Oh.
And if you're on my mailing list, I will be giving a talk at the Museum of Transportation in next year on Route 66. Oh, okay. Now, I live in Valley Park, and we had two stations, and this is because going west from St. Louis, there the Santa Fe and the Missouri Pacific pretty much ran side by side, not very far apart, and that held all the way out to Pacific, Missouri, where they diverged. But Valley Park, these stations were not very far from each other. Okay, so here we are, the Missouri Pacific, 1913. And what you'll notice about this segment is that the Missouri Pacific raised its tracks. And that's because Valley Park flooded. And so they just raised their tracks. And so just take a look at that photo, and here's the station. The station's gone, but the cement platform is there, and it's behind the building we call the elevator here in Valley Park. So you can see it if you go to the elevator, which is like a grain and feed store, and you can see it. You can walk to it and see it. But the steps to it have been taken away for obvious reasons. But now here's the other station, which would be the Frisco station. And the Frisco station, I want you to notice something at the corner. Take a close look at the front corner of the station. Look a little closer here. And we're looking at that. That's a giant planter. A giant planter.
That's what it looks like.
All right.
What a job to water it. Kansas.
Yes. Well, we're having a dry spell now, but I think the weather was wetter back then. Rain was more reliable. Now, this train station, they stopped using it. They stopped using it, and the railroad was contacted by our local historical society here in Valley Park, and the railroad donated this building to the Valley Park Historical Society. A few days later, a train came out of Kansas City with lots of guys on it with sledgehammers, and they knocked this station down
Hmm.
after it had been
Wow.
donated to the Historical Society. But they didn't smash the planters. They didn't smash the planters. Here are the planters. They
Oh,
are there
wow.
for you to see in this little park. And the story behind them is that one guy took them home and saved them for decades. Decades. Yes. And then when things settled down a bit, he gave them to the city, and they're now on display. Right. So here we have the two planters, and those have plants in them. I don't know how they
Yeah.
get watered. I don't see a water faucet anywhere. And here's the story that the planters were were moved from the 1970s, and then 2013, 35 years at this guy's home. Then they moved back. But look in the background, and there's the Frisco Hotel. The Frisco Hotel was originally built as a kind of like a dormitory for railroad workers.
Yeah.
That was its original intention. But it, over time, it served many other purposes, many other purposes. Yes, it's now, so at one point it was a bar serving liquor. At one time, it was a headquarters for Alcoholics Anonymous. There's just all sorts of things. But now it's the Frisco Train Store, and the Frisco Train Store is a place where there's all these wooden trains, which the train store sells, and kids can play with those trains. It's free. It's free. So if you're a grandparent and want to take your grandkids to some place where they can amuse themselves for free, this is the train store. When you're there, you may get thirsty. They will sell you something to drink, and your grandkids might get really interested in wooden trains and ask you to buy a set. So that's kind of what people hope. And then birthday parties, wooden train birthday parties upstairs. Yes. Now, Maplewood, only one remnant of a past train station, and that's it.
Oh, wow. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Stairway, only the steps remain.
I often wondered where that went.
Okay, now Castlewood State Park has one remnant of a past train station, and this is actually a remnant of glory, a remnant of glory, because Castlewood, which was a couple stops after Valley Park, there would be over 80 trains a day would pass through.
Wow.
Over 80 trains pass through Valley Park. Remember, we had the two train lines, and then Castlewood would have that same number. No, Castlewood is past Pacific, isn't it? In any event, it has one remnant of the past train station, and the reason why it had a train station is that it was a resort. It was a resort, and people would go out to swim in the Merrimack River, and people would get away from the city, because the city was full of air pollution, and you wanted some place where you could breathe, and that's what Castlewood provided. And here you are. These people got
Oh,
here
wow.
by train. They
Huh.
Wow.
got here by train. Or some got here by boat. The canoes, they didn't come, the canoes are for rent there at Castlewood. And here's the old days also. And you see the building there. And the building led up to a dance hall. Here is the train depot, not very fancy, just a little roof, just a roof to protect you. But there are the stairs, and here are the remnants of the stairs going up to a dance hall at the top of the bluff there. Um, and you can see the stairs, and I believe you can also walk them if you're willing to deal with
Oh,
steps,
wow.
but they still remain. Now, Webster Groves. Oh boy, 3 train stations for Webster Groves. Tuxedo Park, nicely preserved, and that is an architecture firm.
Mhm.
So you can see the outside. Oh, you can go in and pretend to be a client. They and then you can really just tell them that you cheated and that you're not a client. You're just looking at a train station. But the downtown or Old Webster has this caboose. You think you may know that at one point all the trains decided to get rid of cabooses, and they were up for sale. And you could buy your own caboose, and many people did, and many towns did. Valley Park has one sitting in its park, and this one is in Webster Groves, right next to the old train station here, which is now a Montessori school. Yes. Okay. Well, let's go back to that Montessori school. And I'm not sure what the next slide is, but there's a story to tell about Christmas Eve one year when this was a working train station. The postmaster lived across the tracks from this station, and it was those days trains were how mail got around the country. And what you would hang up a mail bag on a post, and the train would pick that up and drop off a mailbag. And one day, one Christmas Eve, it was dark, but it was the time for the mail train to come, and the postmaster walked out, but the mail train was behind time, and this was a freight train, hit him and killed him.
Lord.
But the people in Webster Groves created an urban legend that it was the mail train that dropped the bag on the postmaster. So take your choice. Take your choice. We also have the Frisco station here. It's pretty plain, but inside it is filled with model trains.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they have certain days and events where you can go and just they'll put on a show for you. Put on a show, and as you can see, it's
Speak to these places.
major. It's just a lot of stuff there, a lot of stuff. And you can also see it's a Lionel train layout with the 3 tracks. Yes, so here's an example. Monthly open house, and it's free. And anytime between these two, between 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., and just go and visit. Of course, they would like donations. University City, there's the
Oh,
Delmar
That's
Station,
pretty.
Wabash Railway
Oh, is
instead.
it?
And that's their statement, best beginning for every winter's journey. Metrolink goes underneath this train station. You can see it there. And it's owned by Joe Edwards and Washington University, which makes you wonder why this interior is not turned into something. It's just like this. I'm not sure. The photo's a little bit old. Maybe they have done something with the interior. The exterior, of course, looks pretty good. We're going to go south. First Amtrak station going south from St. Louis. Any ideas?
You
No ideas. Arcadia.
Oh,
No ideas because you've never heard of Arcadia.
yeah.
Population 608, and it gets a train station just because they needed a train station south of St. Louis, and there it is, the Arcadia Valley Amtrak station, looking quite nice, quite nice. And here we have the Texas Eagle going south towards Texas from St. Louis. So future, the first Amtrak station going south from St. Louis. They're talking about DeSoto, and I haven't quite followed up whether they actually have created a train station for DeSoto. But DeSoto has connections with the railroad. It stores all this stuff. That big shed here, the big warehouse, is for railroad stuff like axles. So that there's a railroad connection there that would make it the reason why DeSoto was a possible train station. The newest train station in the St. Louis area, built in 2017 in Illinois. And just look at that snazzy Alton region.
nice. You see,
Multimodal.
nice.
Yes, multimodal is the way to go these days. Buses, trains, highways. Yes. Now we're going to go. Okay, going north from St. Louis,
Mhm.
Old Alton Amtrak Station. Now look at that and think of yourself as a passenger, and a train is going to come by. If it's a freight train, it's going to rattle right past you, and you're standing there a few feet away. So the old station got demolished. Got demolished. Too close to the train tracks. Here's Granite City, a mighty, wonderful train station. That's now a residence, and not quite as grand, but at least it's still around. Shreve Park, Muscuda has the Muscuda train station. Nice yellow building. It's 1870. It's in a park, and you can see that there are steps there. You can at least walk along it, and I'm not sure if you can get in it, but it's in the park. Edwardsville, Lewis and Clark Community College has
Ooh.
has included the nickel plate station in its campus. Now you're hearing names of train lines. Nickel plate is a train line that goes to basically to the Mississippi River and not beyond. So that's why there'll be train companies that you have over in Illinois that we don't have here in Missouri. Waterloo, Illinois, nice twice. It's a thrift store, so that's still in business. Sparta, Illinois. Okay, Sparta, Illinois. Quiz to there's a you can see a caboose there. There's a quiz. It's now a museum of a particular artist, and the artist did drawings of trains. Yes, but this train station appeared in a movie. And here's a hint.
Oh, wow.
They got a murder on their hands and they don't know what to do with it. Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. Anyone know?
In the heat of
No.
the night.
No idea.
In the
In the heat of
of
the
Oh,
night.
really?
yes, has that train station. Belleville, over in Stone, Illinois. You can get a cup of coffee in the coffee shop there, and there's a caboose, an old caboose lantern, just some old railroad memorabilia. And across the street would have been what I think was the freight depot for Belleville. They'd unload stuff there in Belleville. We're in the city. The Lemp Brewery has the Western Cable Railway. And the Lemp Brewery has about 18 buildings. And here is one of them. And if you look at the top, you will see Western Cable Railway Company. And that railway is basically underground. It's underground because Lemp Brewery was the first brewery to brew lager beer in the United States.
Oh,
What beer were they brewing before lager beer?
well, that presumably ale.
Ale. Ale you can make in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Lager has to be made in a brewery and has to be kept chilled. So you're going to keep it chilled and ship it somewhere on a rail car. You have to pack the rail car with ice. And so the railroad that went by the Lemp Brewery, the Lemp Brewery didn't like the way the railroad was packing the cars with ice. They thought they could do a better way. So they built this railway, a little branch, and so they would load the ice out of sight because this was underground. It was out of sight. They loaded it to their best ability, the way they liked it, and then shipped their beer, which went all over the place.
Probably cooler underground.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that also helped. Here's a fire show. It's plays Rolling Stones music.
Oh.
Anyone know where that is?
Yeah, it's in Union Station.
It's in Union Station. Yes.
Up until the
Every
things
hour
above.
on the hour. Right. So that's a reason to visit Union Station in the evening, starting at 5 o'clock every hour on the hour. Union Station, largest station when it was built, largest station in the country, built in 1894, and inspired. You can see this inspired by a city in France. The architect inspired by Carcassonne, France, and you can visit Carcassonne, and Carcassonne does a very good job of preserving its old wall and its old towers. Yes, I have been there. There's the so here we are, 42 tracks in the train shed. When you walk along at certain points, they will you'll see numbers and tracks in the cement at Union Station today. And so there are 42 tracks in the train shed, but the trains had to back in. Of course, you don't want you don't want the locomotive with all its fire and smoke, where all the passengers are or the ticket people and the concessions are. You just want the back of the train there. So trains would have to back in, and that meant it was a kind of an annoyance for the railroads to have to go through the effort of backing in. So, but they made it easy. That just pulled forward, going out of the station. And here is the Grand Hall, and that's the roof of the Grand Hall where you can watch the light show every hour. And there's a bar, and you can get a drink and watch a different one every hour. Here's the show. Now there's a big stained glass window, and the easternmost panel on the window would be what city? Easternmost city. What big city on the East Coast? Anybody know the name of a big city on the East Coast?
Well, there's a lot of New York.
New York. Yes, that's right. We go straight west. What pretty big city is in the West Coast?
Los Angeles?
So,
Actually, you have to go straight across from New York, so it would be San
San
Francisco.
Francisco.
Yes. Now, you saw the western, the eastern. What city is in the middle? What
St.
city is it?
Louis.
St. Louis. St. Louis. Yes. Yes. So there's the stained glass window. And we also have a whispering arch. And this is where you can see this person is standing and whispering something. There's another person back to her. It's not facing her. They can hear her talk. The the arch carries the words over to the other side.
Wow.
So you can they'll tell you where that is if you want to try it out. It's by the main one of the doorways. Wonderful illuminated glass floor, Union Station, and a mural. Here is people buying tickets. What does that look like? 1940s, late 1940s. And there's a mural up there. And
Beach
they
Bridge.
changed the ticket station and they put the mural in storage and forgot about it. And
Oh.
forgot about it. Yes. And they discovered it in 2014. In 2014. And as you know now, there's a hotel in Union Station, and the hotel desk, the reception desk,
Oh, wow.
has this mural behind it, and sort of commerce on the landing. You can see the steamboats and the railroad down on the landing. And here's the fountain outside of the Union Station, and it was donated by Mr. Allo, or actually donated by Mrs. Allo in honor of her husband. And this fountain is popular with Labrador retrievers. They jump in the fountain and they get cooled off on a hot summer day. That's right. Okay. And so in World War II, this is extraordinarily busy. But something happened here at Union Station during World War II. We had prisoners of war camp in Missouri, and Colorado had a prisoner of war camp, and that they had 2,000 German soldiers. One guy they had gray prisoner of war uniforms. He collected tea bags, dyed his uniform brown, and escaped. Got on a train and came to St. Louis, where he was. They figured out the ruse, and he was captured. So he'd become a prisoner of war in North Africa. He went to Colorado. He escaped from Colorado, got arrested in St. Louis at Union Station, and here he is,
Oh, wow.
Bill Kiwe. And we have a photo of him because at the end of the war, he went back to Germany and became a movie actor.
Wow.
Actor. Right. He played a German prisoner of war camp guard who was guarding American prisoners of war. And Steve McQueen was one of the American prisoners of war. And Steve McQueen escaped from the camp, rode a motorcycle, and tried to get across the Swiss border.
That
And
was a
here is
movie.
that.
Yeah, a movie. Yeah, I saw that.
That Great Escape. The Great Escape was based on a memoir written by a man who was a lawyer in St. Louis, who had been in the war. And he had been in prison, and they had tried to escape. I think he had successfully escaped. And he had this memoir, and he kind of wrote it as if it would be a nice movie. And nobody at the movies was picking it up until he contacted one of his fellow soldiers, and that soldier was an American movie star. Sorry, I forgot his name, but they had served together in the Air Force, and he got the studio's attention, and they made that movie. And this famous picture, Dewey defeats Truman. Where was this photo taken?
Union Station.
Union Station, yay! And then Union Station went into decline and was used as a setting for these homeless people. And what movie was this one?
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York. That's right. We had a number of spots that were used. So then Union Station had a revival, 1985, and it became. This is what the revival looked like, and what happened is it got revived again, 2019, and Revival 2. Here's a map of things where they were, and this was when they built the wheel. Revival 1, you probably remember from Revival 1 is the fudge factory.
Oh, yeah.
Where they would sing and make fudge, and I'll let you have a sample, and the fudge is actually excellent. Here is the wheel, and this is the new revival. And they have a ropes course, they have a carousel, they have an aquarium, they have just put in new rides. They have realized that the carousel for little kids, the Ferris wheel is for adults. You don't have something for teenagers. So they have a couple new things. They have a pirate ship that goes back and forth. They have where you sit like a swing chair, and the thing revolves. And they have a roller coaster. But this Mirror Maze was part of number 2, and you could play mini golf at Union Station, and you could go to the soda fountain and have incredible drinks there. Yes. So the Build-A-Bear Workshop, that's because Union Station being revived, Build-A-Bear moved its headquarters to Union Station. So that's right there. Now, Union Station had a Harvey House. And what a Harvey House was,
Yep.
the trains going west from St. Louis, they'd stop in a town. People would get off the train, sit down at a restaurant, and order from the menu, and wait. And their food never came, and the train whistle would blow, and they had to get back on the train. And this was very disturbing, and not a good way to travel. So the Harvey House system all had the same menu, same prices, and they all served you in time to get back on the train. Yes. So here they are. They're in uniform. You see Judy Garland there over on the left. And their job was to feed the people who got off the train. So the Judy Garland must be told that the trains must be fed.
Don't be nervous. There's no need to lose your head. But one thing we cannot forget, the trains must be fed.
The train must be fed. The train must be fed. Come lightning, come drizzle, come sleet, come cyclone, come earthquake. The people gotta eat. Come thunder, come blitzen. Again we repeat. The train must be fed. The train must be fed. The asses must be fed. And the Santa Fe must be fed.
Okay, yes. So the Harvey House was in Union Station. Now, when Amtrak moved out of Union Station, where did it go? Went to Amtrak. Amtrak was 2 trailers.
That was pitiful.
Double wide trailers, yep.
Yeah.
So it moved out of Amtrak, and it went to another temporary train station. That train station is much nicer, and it's now being used to store store operating mechanical crews or things for the crews there. Our new Amtrak station is now called the Gateway Multimodal Transportation
Yeah.
Center. Yay!
Yeah.
The way to go, multimodal. And here's what you can do. You can do Greyhound, you can do Amtrak, you can do city bus, uh, and you can have pizza.
There.
Yes.
I went from Kirkwood.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, you
Up there.
said that.
up there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Here we are with food, and here we are with how nice and clean it is. How nice and clean it is. And you get across to the tracks, the trains don't have to back in. The trains just stop as if they were at any other city, just like any other city. That's the So now trains you can ride, standard gauge trains, scaled down trains. Here's the standard gauge, 100 miles south of St. Louis, Jackson, Missouri. That is the Iron Mountain Railway. And there you can dine in the car. And they have all sorts of different types of trips, Wizards and Magic, chocolate, Ghost
Okay.
Train, Halloween Express, superheroes, all of that 100 miles south. But trains that come out of the city, American Association of Railroaders, they depart from Kirkwood and they have various trips and like here, train watching watermelon bash. Anyway, so they go on. Here we go. Mother's Roman.
On the train.
On the train.
Of course.
Instead of from the train.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah. All sorts of things that they do, the American Association of Railroaders. The National Railway Historical Society, also, they do trips. They do big trips, big trips. There they are out in Albuquerque. They took this trip from St. Louis out to Albuquerque. The Polar Express, they stopped running it, and this just got revived for this Christmas. So you can take your grandkids on the Polar Express, and it leaves from Union Station, and the conductor entertains everybody. And yes, it's based on the book. Based on the
But it doesn't look like an animated Tom Hanks.
right. Scaled down, the Museum of Transportation has a train you can ride at the Museum of Transportation. Six Flags has a train you can ride. Tommy G. Robinson. Here's the train station at Six Flags. Eureka, Missouri. They had a whole system in Kershaw Park, and they are looking for a place to put free train rides. St. Louis Live Steamers, what they were called. Scaled down train in Glencoe, and they have reopened. And here it is, the Washington, Wabash, Frisco, and Pacific Railroad. There's their round table.
Yeah.
And what road ends at the Wabash, Frisco, and Pacific? Hint,
Oh,
what road?
what's that?
Zombie Road.
Oh, okay.
Zombie Road, yes, ends there.
I didn't know there
And
was a
then
zombie road.
And then you can ride those trains. Scaled down train in Greenville, Illinois.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. American Heritage Railroad is what it's called.
Wow.
And they have a museum. It's inside that museum. In the city, scaled down train in the city museum. You can ride a little circle there going around while the conductor has a an odd place to sit. But it's a model of an ALCO train. An ALCO is the American Locomotive Company out of Schenectady, New York. Scaled down train at the St. Louis Zoo. And it's been there since 1963. There's their Red Rock Station at the St. Louis Zoo. Trains you can watch. Okay. This guy, Dan, he has all this set up in his front yard in Overland. Dan's Emerald Forest. Yes. The Lionel Model Train Club, they have a setup. Missouri Botanical Garden has the Green Garden Land Express. Midwest Money on Hampton. One Sunday a month will run their trains for you on Hampton. Go west, and we get to the Pacific Railfan Center. As I mentioned before, the Frisco and the Missouri Pacific were pretty much side by side until you get to Pacific. Pacific got its name because when the Missouri Pacific was funded and people bought shares of stock, they said, we're going to go to the Pacific. At the end of a year, they only got as far as this place, and they renamed this town. This town used to have a different name. They named it Pacific
Oh,
so they could say they went to Pacific. Yes, that's pretty ratty. But at
never
any
knew that.
this is the Railfan Center run by this guy who's just a real big enthusiast. And he knows the train schedules. He can tell you which train is coming. He has displays inside, and he had a coffee can, and that's where you're supposed to deposit some money to thank him. That's what he had to keep this place going because it was rent free. He didn't have to pay rent. But unfortunately, the place changed hands and he had to pay rent. So this became a problem because a coffee can just covers incidentals. It doesn't cover rent. So here's inside. That's also a Lionel display. So he had a problem. He couldn't pay the rent. He was mentioning this to all the people that came in. There was a couple visiting from Australia. They bought the building.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
he is there rent free. They bought the building.
Wow.
Yes.
Fine.
Now this display may look familiar to you. It used to be in the corner of a building downtown.
Oh,
Thanks
really?
very much.
Famous bar. This is the
Oh, famous bar.
display.
Okay.
That's at the Museum of Transportation. And it was a Christmas display at Famous Bar. Iron Spike Model Railroad Museum. This is out in Washington, Missouri. If you like model trains, you are going to almost faint from excitement when you see this. It's an old
Oh,
Kmart.
my God.
It's a Kmart. Yes, turned into all these displays with all sorts of things that guys found very clever. Trailer court, a funeral, a carnival, a smart car dealership, and a drive-in movie with a little
Wow.
Sony screen set up there. Yes. Demolished train stations. Oh, there we go.
I went back to Ohio, but my city was gone. There was no train station. There was no downtown.
Okay. Who sings My City Was Gone?
I had the slightest
Recognize-
idea.
Between in the way.
Chrissy Hynde and the Pretenders. And the downtown is downtown Akron, Ohio, that she's talking about. So we're going to go west, Ellendale Station, look at that. Knocked down. Go south, Carondelet. This is an intriguing station, and
Wow.
it's too bad that we lost it. There it is. It's up. There's the station up there. You have to go down these steps to get to the train. You have to go down these steps to get to the train. So that's the train station. Over here is a different building entirely. That is, there's the train station, and back there is the shot tower. That's a shot tower that made bullets by dropping hot lead from a height into a basin of water.
Hmm.
That's the purpose of a shot tower.
Never
Yes.
heard of such a thing.
Jefferson Barracks, of course, you had all these troops, people had to go get there and leave from Jefferson Barracks in its depot. This is a postcard. Here it is in a photograph, and it has been demolished. Over in Illinois, Edwardsville, look at that station. That's gone. But in honor of that station, an IPA beer has been named in honor of that. Okay, and in the city, before we had Union Station, we had Union Depot uh, on the corner of Tucker and Poplar, and it just wasn't big enough for all the volume of train traffic. So we got Union Station. So that one got demolished. The 1904 World's Fair, there was a train station there,
Oh, wow.
which was very handy for people to travel to that station, and that got knocked down. Tower Grove
Ah,
used this convenient
wow.
station when traveling east and west and southwest, route of the Eagles. Sorry, that one. Look at this nice photo.
Oh, yeah.
Demolished. Demolished. Van Deventer Avenue, that one. Now just a Metrolink overpass. There's this little kind of murally thing, wall, whatever, of a train. That's what's left. That's what's left. Bye bye. So, there's train stations in the St. Louis area. I'm Doug Schneider, and
Well,
Dick
very
is called for
interesting.
continuing ed. So I'm going to end the show, and then I'm going to stop recording. No, stop recording. How do I stop recording? And stop sharing. Record.